Today I'm working on getting that shear, actually both shears that I bought, the Beverly Shear and the Stomp Shear, out of the trailer. So I am going to see if I can take my engine hoist and lift that thing up and get it out of the trailer. I had some appliance dollies basically on the other end when we bought the thing, but and I could use those, but since I'm pretty much running solo here today, I thought that this might work better for me, and so I'm going to try to get the engine hoist out there, get it put together. One of our other purchases while we were in Texas, and get this thing unloaded. Hey! Got the IE427 garage guard dog out. What you doing, Mel? So there it is. Pexto 37-inch shear. And then the Beverly Shear over here, which they made a stand for out of some unit thread. It's actually pretty nice. So I'm going to get both of those unloaded and brought into the shop.
This sounds stupid. Can you get 2x4s and lift it up and then get some 2x4s and put some 2x4s underneath the legs, and then it will make like a thing on the bottom, and then it will like hold it up so it's not on the pedal?
Oh, I don't care that it's on the pedal. It's not on the pedal, really. It's under the pedal.
Yeah, I know, but if you use the thing to raise it, and
I'm just trying to figure out how to rig it. Because I got two chains, and I can go get my engine leveler, and then I figure I'd lift the thing and just use this to get it out. But this thing hits as it comes out. So now I'm thinking I'm gonna have to lift it up, put it on the dollies. I don't know.
Well, you had a week to think about it.
Yeah, I know, and this was my best plan. This was my best plan. Let's see, it hits, right? guess it doesn't hit there. I know it hits here, but I'm not worried about the plywood. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the engine leveler and some bolts. So hopefully I can rig this thing at 2 of the corners and get it out of here. I don't know, we'll see. It's higher on that side. Where'd the handle go? There it is. Not ideal. Are we up?
Nope.
Yeah, we are. Almost. Where are we?
That back leg's still on the ground. Oh, there you go. How do you keep that from like pushing you into the garage?
It might.
What am I gonna do? Shut this off?
No, keep it rolling. It'll be fun. It'll be comic entertainment.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna go slow. It's gonna stick right there.
oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, hell! That was what it was. I figure it's about as heavy as an engine and a transmission, like a big block and a TKO or top loader. Top loader, freaking heavy. So not bad. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it, but we need it for the shop.
It's a good thing you're ready.
I'm always ready. You kidding?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to catch me butt crack. For all you naysayers out there, these are my work shoes. 13 Triple E. I'm going to get in this car and I'm going to drive it with my work shoes on. As soon as I find the key. Ah! Got it. start this thing. Gotta find a spot for it temporarily. Oh. The fun part. You mean there's a fun part? It's all fun, right? Okay. Back up in the air. Going down. The dirt does not help. Gotta get the coop out here soon.
So I guess you're gonna leave that over there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it back here by the truck for now. I don't need to cut out any parts today, but I do need to cut out a couple drop boxes, but I still need to order material. So, without material, the point is somewhat moot right now. Okay. This away a little later, but I think that's it for now. I'll bring you guys back when I'm when I got all this stuff kind of taken off, and I'll show you how I'm going to cut out a couple of small pieces because I need to make a couple of trunk access covers. So I'll do the straight cuts on this, and then I'll do the round cuts on the Beverly Shear. So I'll show you that. But for now, let me get this stuff all cleaned up, and I'll bring you back. All right, so I bought my sheets of 040 aluminum in 4-foot by 10-foot sheets. And usually that nets me, let me think about this for a minute, 26. It usually nets me 5 boxes, five drop boxes, and then the scraps will get me maybe, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 of my trunk access covers. So this is just a cut-off piece that, you know, I've been tossing around the shop. The nice thing about this, even though it's only 37 inches wide from stop to stop, is I can rough cut my sheets with my electric shear. So it's a hand shear, you know, and it's like scissors. I just, you know, mark a line and cut it. I can cut those maybe, what? 3/4 of an inch to an inch larger than they need to be, then I can bring those blanks, so they're going to be 27 by 48, because a finished trunk box is about 26 inches wide. I can start cutting off some of the excess for the side panels, and then I can put it in the shear, and I can square up the sides and cut the box for my brakes parallel, and have nice, clean, straight cuts, which up to this point, I've had to cut them as close as I can to straight with the electric shears. And anybody who's bought one of my boxes will understand they're not always perfectly straight. There's a little bit of wave in the line, but both ends are what the measurement's supposed to be. And by the time you put your sound deadening and your carpeting, you don't see any of that stuff anyways, right? Excuses. But I didn't buy this as much to straighten the cuts as I did to cut down on the time it takes me to make these, because up until now, I've just been making boxes for the cars that we're building here in the shop, and maybe, you know, 5 to 7 more per year, so maybe a total of 10. But since Russ passed away, I've been inundated with emails and text messages and private messages about these drop boxes, and I don't want this niche market to go away in the Factory 5 community. So I'm doing everything I can to satisfy the needs of the guys out there that aren't in a position to make these boxes themselves. Now, I've said in the past, it's not hard to make one of these boxes. I mean, you can make one of these boxes with basically a 4x4 sheet of 04 aluminum you can pick up at your metal supply house, and then a cheap Harbor Freight brake, and I'm talking cheap, like the cheapest one they sell that mounts to your bench. You don't need to buy the one on the stand. I've got a 36-inch one here, and it may be a Harbor Freight. I picked it up on Marketplace, but it didn't have a name on it. So, but it looks just the same, so it probably is. But you can make one of these on your own. But there's a lot of guys that, let's just say, don't have the confidence to build a drop box, or they don't want to waste the material, because a sheet of 040 aluminum, even a 4x4 sheet, isn't exactly, you know, pocket change. You know, you're going to spend $40 to $50 just on the material that you need for the box, and you don't want to end up throwing that into the trash and going and having to buy more material. So I get it, but that's why I bought it. I bought it for production more than to straighten the cuts, because up until now, like I said, I haven't never gotten a complaint that, hey, you know, there's waves in this cut, I wish it were straightened. You know, it all gets covered up anyways. So let me show you kind of how I've already used it twice now. It's pretty cool. I did a long cut. I didn't measure it, but I just put it in the shear and I cut it, and it's like butter. And then I did some cross cuts, and the cross cuts are nice because they're going to cut it at a perfect 90-degree angle, because the blade itself is 90 degrees of the stop, and the stops are adjustable. You can loosen these bolts and you can adjust the stops so that they're perfectly perpendicular to the blade. And the blade's the part that you need to make sure that they're going to be perpendicular to. And then you can do one of two things to measure the other side. You can either measure both points, this side and this side, over to this side and this side, to make sure it's parallel, or you can put a square up against the fence and you can measure it that way, or against the blade, just to make sure. But the stops are adjustable. So, and the bed is adjustable, that too. So I mean, there's so much adjustment on this thing that it's unbelievable. And I'm gonna, after just using it for these couple little cuts, I'm gonna send the guy that I bought this thing from just a thank you again for being such a great caretaker of this thing, because I did notice that it's been painted, you know, and I don't know if they painted it, you know, just because they were selling it, but the mechanical parts of this machine work perfectly. Everything's here except the outfeed rails, which are the outfeed rails are on that side, so there will be one there and one there sticking straight out towards the truck, and the infield rails here. Now, it'd be nice to have those if I was doing like large sheets, but since I've got to cut the sheets down to manageable sections anyway, it's not really going to affect me, and I'd have to have a place to store them, because I wouldn't be able to keep them on the machine all the time. You know, I've got limited space here in the shop. So let me go ahead and push this in. You can tell that's scrap because I just got big old bend on the end. And so Then we're going to bring the blade down, and the locks aren't going to hit it because it's so short. But then one good kick, and that's it. I mean, you can't argue with that cut. That's like a perfect 90-degree angle. It still needs a little bit of cleanup on this side because obviously when you cut it with any type of shear, you're going to have a sharp ridge, and we generally just dress those really quick with a flat file and clean them up before we send our parts out anyways. But this is going to allow me to cut a bunch of parts quickly. So rather than making maybe 2 drop boxes at a time, maybe in an evening I can make 4 or 5 of them. You know, use a whole sheet of aluminum. So I'll also be able to buy the aluminum in bigger quantities, which will get me a little bit better price. Now, there's still a lot of work, guys. So no, the price is going to stay the same. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to go up because the price of material just went up. But yeah, it's all about production, and I want to be able to get these things. I want to still build cars. You know, this parts thing, I didn't want to get into the parts business, but it just seemed as though no one else was stepping up to take over for, you know, some of the great vendors that we've lost lately. And so I just figured, you know what, I make these parts for my own cars anyway. I'll make it just a few more a year. So just know that I'm not gonna be making 30 of these at a time. You know, we're getting orders for turn signals that I never expected, because when I talked to Russ, this was the year he passed away, as a matter of fact, he said he was only making 10 to 12 of them a year. And Dan and I have been making no less than 4 of them a month for the last 6-7 months. So what's that? 6 times 4? 24 of these? So we've already doubled what Russ was selling in a year. I don't know. Maybe not a lot of people knew about Russ's thing until after they had already got past that point of their build. I don't know. But it seems as though every car that we were building, you know, before Russ passed away, all had his turn signal switch in it. So, like I said, I didn't plan on getting into the parts business. Now that we're doing this, I just want to be able to spend less time making the parts and, you know, more time building the cars, because I do have plenty of customer cars here in the shop, and I'd like to get those done too. So I think I'll probably wrap this up here. I'm going to be working on, since I got the engine hoist out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some work on that. I'm going to drain the oil and do that, but I think I'll do that in a separate video. So as always, if you're enjoying the content here, please do the like, the share, the subscribe. If you want any of the parts that we sell, the website isn't up yet. I bought the website address, so the website is just parked over on the company who we purchased it from. So there's no online store, and I don't know that I'm ever going to do an online store. I prefer the personal contact that I get from you guys when you email us, and then if you're asking questions, I can address the questions right away, and you know, keep everything you know, more family oriented. I don't want to just be selling to people on the other end of a computer that I don't know. So don't forget the period after the I and the period after the E, otherwise it'll take you somewhere else and I'll never get the message. But we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.